Hello everybody, I'm Jim Durrett, Mayor of Montgomery County, and welcome to another one of our Spotlight series where we're shining the spotlight on people in county government. And this is probably one of the most obscure positions. First, let me back up, let me introduce the Circuit Court Clerk for Montgomery County, Miss Wendy Davis. Wendy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm so good. So seriously, one of the most obscure positions in county government, without a doubt, but the volume, the importance of what y'all do is like unbelievable. And we're gonna talk about a lot of that. But before we do that, we wanna know about Wendy Davis.
So Wendy moved to Clarksville, Tennessee when she was 7. It was back in the early 70s. We're not gonna talk about that. Like a lot of people, her father was military and this became his duty station. Fortunately for me and my brother, we were able to grow up here. Elementary, Woodlawn, went out Woodlawn, New Providence, Northwest. We were very blessed that we got to be here the whole entire time. We made this home. There's nothing better in my life than, I love to go on vacation, but there's nothing better than seeing that Montgomery County sign when I'm on my way home.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. I absolutely love it.
Awesome.
I get that giddy feeling. I'm
Yeah.
home.
So when'd you go to work for the county?
1996.
1996, what was your position?
I was part-time. I worked in General Sessions Civil in the old CJC, which is now the Sheriff's Complex, on the 6th floor. And I did whatever my supervisor told me to do. I entered new cases, I did filing, just whatever, part-time. And I think I was part-time less than 6 weeks before I was offered a full-time position.
Wow. And that was when?
1996.
96. So you've been with the county, what,
I've been with the county 26 years.
26 years?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that was not actually in the clerk's office at the time?
Yeah.
Or it wasn't?
It was.
So the whole time you worked in the clerk's office?
Correct.
Okay, and so progressed through the clerk's office?
I did. I worked pretty much every single division to include accounting, collections, cashier, answering phones, I mean, anything and everything. For about 5 years, in and out, learning everything. When something came available and I was able to learn something new, I wanted to learn it. Then I was promoted to chief deputy. So for 18 years, I served as the chief deputy to Sherrill Castle. Learned a tremendous amount in that role, administration and technology. I was on my feet all day long, running around fixing things, taking care of new hires or terminations or whatever, processing all of the paperwork. I paid all the bills, I made sure that our budget was in balance, all of those things.
Anything to do with the clerk's office?
That's right.
You pretty much know what's going on.
Got a text that said the judge wanted to see me, that's where I went.
So I really want to talk about the duties of your office, but before we do, I want to talk a little bit more about you. So you were appointed circuit court clerk when?
August 15th of 20.
And so you're filling the unexpired term.
I am, but I was elected November of 20.
Right,
So
to
yes,
fill
to
an
fill it.
unexpired term.
Yes.
So you were appointed, elected, and now you're going for the
Running
big
again,
one.
yes.
And you're the obvious choice in my book. I'm not gonna get political on this series, but
Yes, sir.
you're the obvious choice. And
Well,
I
there
just,
is an opponent, so come vote.
yeah, well, I think you do such a good job. So, but Wendy, I mean, if I said, what does your office do? We're gonna sit here and talk for an hour.
I can make it quick.
Okay,
So anything from an adult traffic ticket to an adult that is charged with murder, I would do. Any juror in Montgomery County comes through my office, and any juvenile charged in Montgomery County would come through my office.
wow.
Anyone that wants a divorce, any domestic related or small claims, comes to my office.
But you have all of that, but y'all are in the courtroom every day.
Yes, I have clerks assigned to 9 judges.
And do y'all set the dockets?
Well, General Sessions sets their days because we work with a court liaison from the CPD, and the sheriff's office, and we work off the officers' scheduled court days, so they're not off the road just randomly. They have a.
Yeah, but court ain't gonna happen unless y'all.
Oh, well, we gotta have all the paperwork, we gotta be ready, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta run the docket.
Y'all basically have everything.
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Every document that's filed.
And so I don't want, but if I went to court for a speeding ticket or whatever, y'all would have every bit of that paperwork, and it would be handed. It's probably a chain of custody that y'all are basically in that courtroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day, all day. Many
Wow.
sessions. General Sessions has many sessions. Circuit will be all day. They'll, of course, take a break for lunch. But yeah, you're talking a lot of cases, hundreds of thousands of pieces of paper a year.
Yeah, and so that circuit, that's the chancellor, that's all of the general sessions, all of them.
No, I do not have Chancery Court.
Okay,
at all. Chancellor
you're right.
McMillan has the clerk and master.
Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of learning this judicial thing, even though I've been there 8 years, I'm still learning the judicial thing. So, what's the toughest part of y'all's job? I mean, you're supervising all this, but what's the toughest part?
Well, years ago, it used to be delinquent taxes.
Yeah.
There is nobody madder than selling somebody's property for $150 because that was the tax owed. We haven't done them in a long time. Chancery Court took those over. You know, COVID was a little bit of a tough time.
I was gonna ask you about COVID.
It was a little bit of a tough time just trying to make sure we had enough workers that were available to do the work. We can't take any permanent value documents out of the office, no cash out of the office. So it was a little bit more difficult. You know, you can't just load those in a box and take them home. If that person was unfortunately killed in a car accident or something, and the car caught on fire and all that documents and money was gone, those are things that audit would. I would not ever want to find an audit report, so I'm not gonna allow them to leave.
Yeah,
So it was difficult.
So nothing can leave your office basically, except for the person.
Well, let's say if it's something that can be reproduced outside on another website, so there is things people can do from home if they are home. Something like teachers reporting, we can pull that from the state at any time from anywhere. So they could pull that because it's not a permanent value document inside my office. So.
And I mean, you make it sound like it's so easy what y'all do, and it's truly not, because it's this volume of work that I don't know that anybody really, and we've interviewed some judges, and I don't know when this will air compared to them, and they talk about their caseloads, but I mean, that's y'all, but y'all have it all.
I think we had 482 today, adult cases on the docket.
482.
Just adults, because any juvenile cases aren't listed for public. So.
But that doesn't count somebody coming in and paying a speeding ticket.
Oh no, it doesn't count the public coming in.
Yeah.
Or runners or new cases being filed or any of that.
Yeah.
That's just people going to court.
So out of those, how many people you have working in your office?
60.
60. So when you have a quote, and I have to back before I ask this about your court day. So if we have inclement weather, typically you're one of the first people I call, and I'm like, if we close the county, what's it gonna do to you? And you're like, well, hold on, let me check, let me see this, let me do this, let me do that, and then you'll text me back, and you're like, we're good to go, or whatever. So I know how important it is for y'all's days to be structured and all of that. And
absolutely.
So now I forgot the question I was gonna ask you.
Well, I'll tell you real quick.
Okay.
It's easier for us if we are closed the entire day. It's easier to move a docket an entire day than sporadically move people.
Than a half a day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because people don't know if they should come or not. There's not enough communication. A lot of people may not have internet, the apps and stuff, stuff like that.
I know what I was gonna ask now. So tomorrow, let's just say hypothetically, it's a full day of court.
Yep.
Your circuit judges are there, your general sessions judges are there. How many people does it take out of those 60, like, to make it work?
It depends on the division,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, some divisions have more employees than the others, but they also have more judges. So for circuit courts, say, you know, our circuit court judges work 2 counties. So they're not only in Montgomery County, they're in Robertson County. So, you know, we're gonna look at, when our girls are asking for annual leave and stuff, we're looking at dates that we may only have 1 judge in Montgomery County or 2 judges in Montgomery County, because it's easier to schedule that. And they all know that. They look at the calendar, we make dates. There's judicial conferences throughout the year, twice a year. Those are times that they take annually when they can. You cannot have one, let's say you've got 5 people and you've got 2 circuits going and a child support, because I also have a child support magistrate, and 2 people left in the office to answer phones and wait on the public. Difficult. So
Yeah.
we try to schedule around that.
Yeah. How hard was it working through COVID? Because I mean, the courts didn't just quit.
No, there was no quitting.
Yeah.
We had to process things that were coming.
Yeah.
I think the beginning was a little bit difficult, but once we got a rhythm and started doing our alternating shifts and stuff like that, I think
Yeah.
it started working out a little bit better. We just alternated and worked the best we could. I mean, you had to do what you had to do, because we
Yeah.
still had to process them. We couldn't
Yeah.
just wait. Now, we did get some extensions on some filing stuff, but, you know, we had to still
Right.
get everything entered.
Well, and I just think, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head. In the beginning, it was hard for everybody, but
Yes.
kind of once you figured out some processes and stuff, and, you know, this is really about talking about you, but, in your office, but I think one of the things from the pandemic is, you know, you might have a great plan for a disaster,
Yeah.
but I don't think any of us ever envisioned that, hey, we're not gonna be at work, but we gotta keep the government functioning. And I think the way everybody did it is very commendable, and the way y'all did it, because y'all were not only working under local orders, but the state Supreme Court has a bearing on what y'all do as well.
Absolutely. I had to follow those rules.
Yeah, and so if they say nobody comes in the courtroom,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if Montgomery County says somebody comes in the courtroom, nobody comes in the courtroom.
Nobody comes to the courtroom.
Yeah.
When they shut somebody down, you're shut down.
What's the hardest part of your job?
Right now it's staffing. You know, I hope this YouTube video brings employees to apply. I'm really hoping that happens. We could use some really good employees.
It's a great place to work.
I love it. I mean, it's the service that you give to the people that come in is invaluable to them. A lot of people don't understand the process, and just being able to help somebody walk them through the process, tell them what to expect, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
To let them know.
So you worked in the clerk's office for all those years. Clerk retires. You're the chief deputy. Do you feel obligated to put your name into the hat?
She says, well, I've decided to retire. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, pooh, you know, punch you in the stomach.
Yeah.
Because I'd been with her a long time. It was very difficult for both of us. But I mean, I did feel somewhat obligated, but
Yeah.
then I thought, there isn't nothing I really don't know. Why wouldn't you do this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and plus I can continue to, I mean, cause you know, somebody new came in that didn't, for whatever reason, had their own staff or whatnot. I may not have a job, and I wanted this job. I wanted to keep my job, so
Yeah.
I fought for my job.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, in my almost 8 years of being county mayor, you know, I've seen you in all these different meetings where Cheryl may have been there or she wasn't there, and
Yeah.
then, you know, when Cheryl is no longer there and you're the appointed one, the elected one, or whatever you were at the time, I mean, you knew everything that's going on about the clerk's office and really everything that's going on in the court center. And I don't know that this time that we're spending interviewing, hopefully some people will see it and say, hey, I kind of like her. I wouldn't mind going and go to work for her. I hope that happens for you. But I don't think anybody will understand just the volume.
It is a tremendous
Of
job.
work.
There is no doubt about that. It's not like, I mean, you may get caught up when they're at judicial conference.
Yeah.
Get to a good space that you're making sure everything else is done and filing and stuff. But it's very rare. It's very rare you're going to get caught up.
Yeah. But you don't get bored.
No.
You're not going to get bored. And y'all are really a great big family over there.
We are.
I mean, y'all do bake sales. I'll call somebody like on their birthday, and our county phones, you have a little camera, and you'll see back behind them, they got streamers, happy birthday posters, everything. So y'all are really a big family over there as well, aren't you?
Yep. We
Yeah.
absolutely love doing things that we can do. Bake sales are, we've got a lot of people that love to cook.
Yeah.
And we have, luckily, some local attorneys that love to pay us to cook during those bake sales. And they're like, if you'll make an extra one of those, I'll write you a $100 check.
Yeah.
For that donation. And we recently just helped Nicole Williamson's family. But all the ones prior to that have been for someone inside the office
Yeah.
that's been sick.
Yeah.
I think they actually started, that was the first one they ever did was mine. Back in 2011, I was diagnosed with leukemia, which was out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that was the first one that I recall them ever having big like that.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
So,
Well, I just know it's a great group of people that work over there, and you obviously are the leader of that, and so I tag you with that great group of people as well. So what do you think, what would you describe, or what would you say is a gratifying experience for you in your role as clerk?
serving the public, assisting my employees. I absolutely love my employees. Helping them with whatever they need. I am the first one to say, hey, if y'all are short, I can enter those warrants today. Give me some.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I ain't giving her none.
Yeah.
We know she's got something to do. And I'm like, no, just give me some. I can do them.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy to be able to help somebody every day.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day helping somebody.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you got all these responsibilities, but yet, if somebody needs some help with some warrants,
Yeah.
hey, here's Wendy, I'll do it.
Well, Wendy can push hers because she can do it. She can do it later if she needs to, tonight, late tonight,
Yeah.
whatever, but this needs to get done.
Yeah.
I want it to be done and processed so the public can see it, that it's ready for our courts, it's done. But
Yeah.
Wendy can do hers later if she needs to,
Yeah. What an awesome spirit.
so.
Yeah.
Now,
Awesome
I like to work
attitude.
24/7, but you have to do what you have to
Yeah.
do sometimes.
Yeah. Y'all don't necessarily leave. Y'all aren't
I don't know.
8 to 5ers.
Well, we're actually 7:30.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not 8 to 5ers.
No.
Yeah. So, weren't born here, but basically raised here.
Correct.
Northwest side of
Yep.
the community, went to Northwest High School. I'm not gonna hold that against you, but, so, you walk out of the court center and you see somebody walking down the street, and it's a couple, and you say in Wendy's typical jovial spirit, hey, how y'all doing? Conversation leads to, hey, they're visitors, they're thinking about moving to Montgomery County. Why would Wendy Davis tell them to move to Montgomery County?
Well, right now, Wendy Davis might not tell them to move to Montgomery County. We need some more roads and some structure going on. I'm just gonna say, like I always say, I love it. It's just been, and I don't know what, if it's so welcoming here, being rated #1, just, I feel welcoming here now, as the roads get a little bit more congested and stuff like that, and people are honking and doing unimaginable
Yeah.
things with their hands. Those things are frustrating, but, I think it's a great place to live and raise your kids. If you're an active parent and you're actively involved, knowing what's going on, and stay involved with your kids.
Yeah.
It's important to for me, it was very important for me to stay active with my boys and do things with them.
Right.
And I mean homework and checking that homework
Yeah.
and going over what they're doing. Just stay involved. I mean, they do go to school to learn, but you're still their parent. You have a job to do.
Well, I think, I didn't mean for our conversation to go here, but I think part of our problem in our society today is the lack of parenting.
Yeah.
And you see it every day.
And-
Not every day, but you see it by the volume that comes through the
Sometimes,
courthouse.
Yes.
And it's sad. It's sad.
It is. It's
Yeah.
tremendously sad.
Well, I can't thank you enough for your service. Your friendship is awesome, but your service, and for you to sit here and say, you know, I asked you, what is the most gratifying thing you can do? And you say, you know, either help somebody or help one of my employees. That just tells the world who Wendy Davis is.
It makes me feel good to do that.
Yeah,
It
awesome.
just does.
Awesome. What a great spirit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. for having
Okay.
me.